When I got the glasses on, you know it's gonna be good, 'cause I'm reading from all the way over there. Hey, for those of you who are new, I'm Azaria, and this is my space, my YouTube channel. So I have filmed this like 3 times now, but been interrupted, and because I use a webcam and don't edit, I can't continue. I have to restart, so I'm just gonna jump right in. Brief version, chronic illness, want to talk about it on YouTube, want to have a discussion, really want to see like 4 YouTube channels talk about it, and introduction. The questions are in the description, by the way. I know this is really not great, but yeah. Alright, so question number 1. This is a 9-question tag created by me, because why not? Question number 1. Everyone gets sick with multiple stuff. You never have just one thing, even if you only have one major illness. For example, you're always getting colds. You're gonna get them. That being said, what is your primary diagnosis? Which one causes you the biggest problems? If you could only talk about one or treat whether or not you could cure one, which would it be? For me, the most problematic illness I have is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or EDS type 3. Or they don't call it type 3 anymore, the hypermobility variation. So that's cool. Question number 2. What terms do you use to describe yourself? Language, self-descriptors often help people reclaim the experiences they live through and make sense of what is going on. In addition, it sort of personalizes your illness and emphasizes you instead of the disease. So, do you identify with the term spoonie, for example? As a child of the internet, I identify with spoonie, which is a term that originates from the spoon theory, an article written by someone with a chronic illness which describes like energy levels and stuff. It is linked in the description. I also identify with the term zebra, which comes from a phrase taught in medical school, which is, when you hear hoofbeats, look for horses, not zebras. It's meant to encourage soon-to-be doctors to look for common answers before rare ones. But it's often used as an excuse not to look for rare answers at all. So people with chronic illnesses often get dismissed. But people with chronic illness, or people with rare diseases, not chronic illnesses. But as us zebras, people with chronic illnesses know, rare diseases know. Rare diseases are rare not because people don't have them, but because people do. I've also seen the term EDSer thrown around, and I've used it once or twice, but it's too often easily mistaken for EDSR instead of EDSer, which then sounds like a new disease, and I don't get enough benefit from it to use it off the internet. Number 3. What are the major side effects of your illness or illnesses? In addition, what other health problems do you have that might not be related to your chronic illness or illnesses? So this is where you get to talk about everything from every illness that you may have and stuff from not illnesses. So, for me, since EDS is the biggest problem, we're going to start with it. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is a genetic collagen defect, and collagen is the connective tissue. It holds your body together. 90% of your skin is made from collagen, and 30% of your body at large is. So my body, A, doesn't have enough collagen, and B, doesn't know how to process it correctly. So even if I took collagen supplements, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I'd just have more of it. For me, well, for everybody with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, that means that we dislocate and sublux or partially dislocate joints way too easily because we can't really hold them in place as well as we should be able to. Like once I sat up in bed and dislocated both of my hips. A perk, or another downside to this, is that because our joints are so loose, doctors often encourage us to put ourselves back together. So, for me, more pain comes from the aftermath of dislocating something than the dislocation itself. Because I have shoved shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, knees, kneecaps, ankles, toes, hips, even my vertebrae back in place when they come undone. I have not dislocated any ribs yet, and that's what I'm terrified of, because I don't know how you would put those back in. Also, I've dislocated my jaw, but that's related probably to TMJ, which I think just stands for transmandibular joint, so I don't know how that is an illness or whatever. But TMJ has the same prevalency in people with EDS as people without it, which is 30% of the population. So, in addition, EDS means that my muscles work harder to hold me together than the average person's, and so I have what's called generalized chronic pain, which is just my muscles are always hurting from working so hard, because they have to make up for, I guess, my ligaments and tendons and whatever else holds me together. We think that EDS is causing 2 more problems in me, but who knows really where anything comes from. I have a craptastic immune system, and it just does not work very well. It does work. It does not work very well. So, like, right now, I have probably 5 colds, and who knows what else. And I am stuck with that. And we've tried all sorts of things to boost it. It just doesn't work. In addition, I have a ridiculous amount of mucus in my lungs. It's like nothing compared to someone with, say, cystic fibrosis, but it's way more than a healthy person, and it's too much for me, so I am constantly trying to get it out. Not related to EDS, I have what's called bronchoautorenal syndrome, which basically is a prenatal condition that affects the development of your throat, your ears, and your kidneys, because they all develop at the same time. So as far as my throat goes, in babies, the tubes are separate, so a baby can, like, talk, or I guess, cry and swallow at the same time. But that means that they're at a greater choking risk. Or maybe it's the tubes are together and haven't separated yet. Whatever. Whatever it is, they can do both at the same time. But that means they're at a greater choking risk, and that's why you have to watch babies. My thing, it never developed beyond that, so I am still, well, it developed beyond that. Not as much as it should have, so I'm at a greater risk for choking and whatever. And, like, I'm casually right now choking on saliva. It's fine. I only have 1 kidney because of it. That kidney is fine. It just doesn't have another. So if you need a kidney donor, sorry. I kind of need mine. And as far as the ears go, they're different sizes. My ear canals go up instead of down and up, which most people do, which means I legitimately can't wear earbuds. I can wear headphones, though. And I have a hole in my ear. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's like right there. I don't think you can see it. But it's where it's like that big. It's where a second ear duct tried to develop. So that's what that is. I'm hypoglycemic, borderline anemic with just a low iron content, and have costochondritis, which likes to mimic heart attacks. So that's the worst pain I've had in my life. And they're concerned about my migraines, and I'm getting some sort of, we're figuring out what the cause of that is. So that's cool. If you saw my video yesterday, you know I had a CT scan for that, and I'm terrified. But that's a good summation of what's wrong with me. question number 4, how many medicines do you take? Do they have side effects? Do you take any medicine because of your other medicines? I take 3 medicines daily. I take, 2 medicines and a multivitamin daily. The multivitamin has a substantially higher iron content than most do, which means I'm literally, like, not allowed to take it anywhere without all sorts of forms, because if I start selling it to people, then they are, or giving it to people even for free, then they could overdose on iron and die. I take a, is it a heartburn medicine? Not because I have heartburn, but because of all the stomach acid I have. I could potentially get, stomach ulcers, which is, everybody has that risk, but I have a family history of it, and so this is a preventive thing. And I use a Q-var inhaler twice a day. 2 puffs twice a day, and I have to, like, brush my teeth within 5 minutes after that, because apparently it's toxic and starts killing brain cells. In addition, I take various pain medicines when my pain is too bad. I mean, Tylenol and Aleve they keep the pain usually from getting worse, but they don't make it any better. So the sooner I take it, the better. And I can take, like, migraine medicine, which sometimes makes it better and sometimes just keeps it from getting worse. I have weird digestive issues, so I'll take, an antidiuretic. I have an emergency inhaler, which I have been using less recently, which is good. Good news. I'm not getting better, I'm just getting used to it, and so my standards for using it come higher. So I think that's all the medicines I take. Number 5, does your chronic illness involve chronic pain? If so, how much pain are you in on a good day, an average day, a bad day? Yes, EDS involves chronic pain. Lots and lots and lots. Generalized chronic pain, pain from subluxing and dislocating stuff, whatever. Also, this mucus thing keeps my, lungs in pain and who knows what else. On a good day, I would say I'm at, a 4 on the 1 to 10 pain scale, with 10 being the worst pain I've felt in my life, which is that heart attack thing. On an average, actually, a good day would be 3. An average day, I'm like a 5. Maybe, recently an average day's been a 6. A bad day is an 8 or above. Number 6. I thought I was on 6. Oh, I was on 5. I can't read. I'm blind. That's why I have glasses. Number 6. How long have you been affected by your illness or illnesses? How long have you been diagnosed with it or them? I've had EDS and the bronchoautorenal syndrome since I was conceived, because it's a genetic thing. It's encrypted in my DNA. And the bronchoautorenal thing left its effect when I was in utero, so before I was born. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome has affected me my whole life, but it really only became a big concern this time last year, so it's been a year, and I'm not actually okay with that fact, because it's kept me from so much in that year. The migraines have been the past 2 or 3 months. And I have been diagnosed with the autobronchorenal syndrome, whatever it's called, broncho, whatever, for 8 months? Or I haven't even had a diagnosis, it's just something I know, for 8 months. EDS for 6 months, and migraines for about a month. And I don't even have a TMJ diagnosis, it's just we know I have it. Number 7. If there was one thing you could teach people about each of your illnesses, what is that thing? What I would teach people about EDS is that it is so easy for somebody to look okay, and people want to be okay, but just because somebody is trying to be okay doesn't mean they're suddenly better. And you need to understand that just because they have a good day does not mean there will not be a bad day tomorrow, or the next day, or the day after, or whenever. Not every day is the same. And I have a few good days, and a few really bad days, and a lot of days in the middle. But I don't want to always be wallowing in it, so I'm not going to talk about them all the time. About the bronchoautorenal syndrome, maybe I'd teach people what its actual name is, but I would say just know if you have it, because you should be more careful if you only have one kidney. Number 8. Given the opportunity, would you snap your fingers and get rid of your illness? I guess this is your primary illness. Why or why not? If I could retroactively go back and change my life in the past, I wouldn't, because I am who I am now because of this illness. And I like a lot of what has happened. It made me repeat a year, but I feel like I get along with these classmates a lot better, and I probably wouldn't have considered starting a YouTube channel my senior year just because at my school senior year is way too crazy. And I've met a lot of cool doctors and learned a lot of cool stuff and met a lot of cool people on the internet. So if we're talking about the past, no. If I could snap my fingers and wake up tomorrow free of EDS, I would. And I'm not exactly pleased with that answer, but I do not want to live like this the rest of my life. And I know I was made this way, but I don't know. I am not strong enough to be able to look the chance to get well in the face and say no. I wish I was. Number 9. Who do you tag? First of all, I tag anybody who wants to do this, because I'd be amazed if anybody saw this and decided they wanted to answer these questions. But specifically, I want to tag Mary of the Fry Life, just because your channel is amazing and I love watching you. And I mean, I love watching Peter too, but I don't really think this questionnaire is applicable to him. At least I hope it's not, and that he doesn't have some chronic illness that we don't know about. I want to tag Claire of the Clarity Project, because you constantly amaze me, and your videos are so cool, and I'm so impressed. And I want to tag Hannah. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm such a terrible friend, I can't remember your last name. But I will find you. You're on Facebook, I'll find you. I will send you this video, and you're tagged. Ballinger? No, I'm thinking of Colleen Ballinger, who's now Colleen Evans, who plays Miranda Sings on YouTube. And here's a reach. Hank Green of the Vlog Brothers, talk about your ulcerative colitis here. That's it from me and this tag. And I'm really tired, and I have to do homework still. So, this is video informative. Leave a like. Was it inflammatory? Leave a comment. Was it intriguing? Subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter or Tumblr using the hashtag AskAzaria, or the direct messaging system on Twitter, and the Ask box on Tumblr to be featured in our next Just Asking Monday, which will be the last Monday of the month. And I hope you have a great day. Take care.